Hi guys, welcome back to Salvage and welcome to a mental video where I'll be unveiling a mental car that I literally picked up 2 days ago. I had no intention of buying this car. I didn't even know it existed 4 days ago. I picked it up as a part exchange, got it back to the farm, looked around it, and I had to buy it. And of course, there's a massive problem with it. So guys, please welcome my new Audi RS4 B7 V8 Supercharged. So guys, welcome to my Audi RS4 2007 V8 B7 Supercharged. Now, I bought this car 2 days ago. I had no idea it even existed. I literally had to deliver a brand new Audi RS4 to a customer, and this was his part exchange. And as soon as I found out it was supercharged, I had to have it. So I picked this up at the beginning of the week, got it back, had a look over it, and there is a massive problem with it, which I will go through in more detail later on in the video. But first of all, let's just go around the car and have a look, talk to you a bit about it. This would normally have a 4.2 V8 natural aspirated 420 PS or 414 brake horsepower. Now, the previous owner, who's actually owned this car for the last 12 years and actually being a doctor as well, he spent near on £15,000 fitting a supercharger kit to this car, which hikes the power from 420 PS, and in this case it's gone all the way up to 620 brake horsepower. Fairly simple modification. It is literally bolting on a supercharger kit. It comes as a complete kit, so you get oil cooler, intercooler, you get your own little coolant system, oil system, and a supercharger. It just bolts on, very simple, and then just needs mapping to the car to give you that extra 200 brake horsepower. So in this case, the car has actually got a TTS supercharger, which I think is the most common for this car, and it went to MRC to be fitted and tuned on our stage 3 map, along with a Miltech full exhaust system producing the 620 brake horsepower. Now, this charger kit actually got fitted about 4 or 5 years ago, so it's not like it's been on the car for 10 minutes, and the car has done around 35,000 miles with this charger kit fitted to it. So the only downside to this car is its mileage. It has done just over 120,000 miles, which isn't massive for a 4.2 V8, but ideally the mileage would have been a bit lower. But it is the only downside to this car. It is in a really nice Mugello blue, which is a bit like Navarro blue on my S3, but a little bit darker, and I think I actually prefer it as well. So this has got all the options. It comes with the all-important Recaro wingback buckets. It's got the carbon inlays, Bose sound system, front sensors, front and rear sensors, cruise control, and it's got satellite navigation as well. So it's got all the options that you'd want, apart from a pan roof, which I'm not sure is even an option on these. I can't remember this far back, if I'm honest. But the car has an extensive service history. It has been serviced 10 times by Audi and specialist garages. It has numerous receipts of thousands of pounds of maintenance work been done to it, so you know it's been well looked after. It's actually had 2 Michelin MP4S tyres fitted on the front, and it's had brand new front discs and pads fitted recently as well, so you know no expense has been spared on this car, which is peace of mind because you know it's been well looked after. So let's get to the back and find out what this supercharged V8 sounds like. two Audi RS4s with both with V8 engines, I'm going to need to buy a lot of oil, which is why I need to save money when online shopping, which is where today's sponsor, Pouch, comes in. Pouch have kindly offered to sponsor today's video. And yes, before anyone asks, I am talking from the future where haircuts are allowed again. Now, I want to tell you why you should download Pouch. Pouch is a free desktop browser extension which automatically searches the web for the best discount codes and applies them at checkout whenever you buy something online. And in the future, I know that I'm going to need a lot of oil now I have two 4.2 V8s. So I'm going to show you Pouch in action and go over to Eurocar Parts and get 20 odd litres of oil. So as you can see, look, I've added 20 litres of premium oil to my basket. All I've got to do is go to checkout. Pouch will automatically pop up in the top right hand corner and it finds a list of codes, and all you've got to do is click try codes. It will then go through all the codes that is found for that website and automatically apply the best one at checkout. And there you go, look guys, as you can see in this instance, I've saved 45% on oil, taking my total from 280 odd quid all the way down to under £200. Pouch works on over 3,000 UK websites, so even if you've got a similar browser extension installed, it is still worth downloading Pouch because Pouch has the most codes for UK websites. So guys, please click the link in my description, download Pouch today and get saving online. Pouch is super easy to install. All you've got to do, a few clicks, and make sure you pin it to your browser. So a massive thanks to Pouch for sponsoring today's video. It's companies like Pouch that enable me to do what I do on a daily basis. Without them, this channel just would not exist. So a massive thanks to Pouch, and let's get back to the RS4. So a bit of a sound check and it sounds absolutely mental. So this is actually not a crash damaged car. It's never been crashed. It's HPI clear. The bodywork is pretty much immaculate apart from a little bit of a rusty passenger door down there. It's got a few dents which aren't major problems. They'll come out no problems at all. The wheels are a little bit curbed. I have a feeling I might do them, get them redone in anthracite. And I think the only other thing is there's just a bit of lacquer peeling on this wing here. Look, that is pretty much the only damage to this car. Otherwise, it is absolutely immaculate. So you're probably thinking, well, why the hell is this a salvage car? What's the problem? Well, the problems all began when I jump in to go and drive it. So guys, this is where my problems began. Sat behind the steering wheel, turning the engine on and taking it out for a first drive. I was absolutely buzzing. I was like, what the hell does a supercharged 620 brake horsepower RS4 feel like? So I took it down the road, I let it warm up, get it up to temperature, get the oil up to temperature, and I floor it, and nothing. Absolutely nothing. Well, it did have power, but nothing like 620 brake horsepower. It felt like an underpowered NA 4.2 V8. It felt like a coked up 420 brake horsepower RS4 that's lost 40 horsepower over years. So I was a bit confused, very confused in fact. I kept driving it. I was like, does it have to get warm? Does it something have to happen? Is there any buttons? I was trying to find any buttons. Is there any map settings? I had it in sport, and no, whatever I did, there was nothing changed. I just had a massive lack of power. So I actually phoned up MRC who tuned it, and I spoke to them. I said, look, when you map these, do you map it on a specific button? And they were like, no, I mean, that type of car, it's just done. You just map it and it's the same no matter what. So I was instantly like, here we go again. What have we got now? So got it back, had a look through all the paperwork. Is there any specific instructions? Like, does it say there's a button to press, anything I have to do? But no, absolutely nothing. So I got the car back, I had a look, I popped the hood up, had a look under it. I couldn't see anything obvious. The supercharger pulley is still spinning, making a little bit of a noise on idle, but nothing major. Couldn't really see anything major at all. Checked all fuses. There only seems to be one additional fuse for the supercharger, which was all fine. The relay was fine as well. So obviously now I'm fearing the worst. So you're looking at probably potentially supercharger seized, worst case scenario, or maybe the input shaft is snapped for some unknown reason. I don't know. So I've taken off the top layer to the supercharger, had a look in there, and it's very difficult to see, but you can just about see one of the propeller shafts for the supercharger. And I got a screwdriver down there, tried to spin it, and it was absolutely solid. So I'm thinking, brilliant, supercharger's gone. So I've actually spoke to Richard at TTS, and it's not a common problem. So he's a bit like surprised why it's happened. I believe it's due to a lack of oil. It has got a separate oil tank, and it was completely empty, because you're meant to check the oil level when it's running, and there just looked to be no circulation of oil at all in it. So I have a feeling that the lack of oil has seized the supercharger. So what seems to have happened is there is an input shaft that goes from the supercharger to the pulley at the front of the supercharger, and that is then rotated off the crank pulley, and that is how the supercharger works. So if the supercharger is seized, then the little drive shaft between the pulley and the supercharger, that has probably snapped. It is only going to be small, and obviously the engine's trying to turn, the supercharger won't, so the easiest thing to give will be that little drive shaft. So that's probably snapped, which is why the pulley on the supercharger is still spinning fine, and it probably explains why there's a little bit of a noise. It's probably just the drive shaft tapping around in there. So my feeling is, I haven't stripped it yet obviously, my feeling is supercharger seized, drive shaft for it snapped. So that is what we're going to have to do. I spoke to Richard. He is going to I've already priced up a new supercharger, drive shaft, belt, and some O-rings and gaskets. Not cheap at all, but I am going to document the full repair process of replacing the supercharger on this car. Another reason I had to buy it, because obviously that's content for you guys. I'm pretty sure there won't be anyone else repairing a B7 RS4 supercharger on YouTube, or even many superchargers at all. So it's another reason I had to buy it. So that is the plan. So the next video will be stripping the supercharger. We'll be having a look at it, confirming that it's seized, looking at the problem, confirming it 100%, and then I'll go ahead and order the new supercharger and all the stuff that comes with it. I'll get that shipped in, and then we can go about repairing it. And MRC don't know it yet, but I want to take it back to them for them to do like a health check on the engine, and also dyno it to make sure we've got our 620 brake horsepower back, guys. So if this is the first time you're watching the channel and you haven't subscribed and you do like this kind of content, please do subscribe. And if you can, please share the video, get it going everywhere. I really want to do this full time, guys, and I just need your help as well. Get the video shared, let's get some views. I said in my last video, I was unveiling this project today, and it will make a lot of you laugh. And that's because I'm actually rebuilding a 4.2 V8 B8 RS4 engine as we speak, fully rebuilt, few little problems. So if you haven't seen the videos for that, please do click on the top corner and go and watch the build project for that RS4 B8. So that's the reason I said it makes some of you laugh, because I've bought another 4.2 V8 with another engine problem. But this is, I'm hoping, slightly different. Obviously supercharger related, no such thing on the B8. So it'll be different type of content, just the same engine, pretty much. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next video, guys, when we'll be stripping the supercharger on the RS4 and confirming the fault. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.